man, one of the greatest humans, Jim Brown, transcended football and transcended life beyond the field, man. I missed his time, but thank you to NFL Films because I was able to watch that guy, and he was amazing, man.
Yep. He died on Friday, and he was in his upper 80s. And he might be mythical to a lot of people who didn't get to see him play. And the way he played, there was a Babe Ruth feel to him that you were like, why is he so much better than everybody else? He was bigger and he was faster. He was just different than any other running back up until that point. And then most running backs are still compared to Jim Brown, or you want to have a comparison to Jim Brown. He averaged 5 yards a carry. I think he led the NFL in rushing his 9 years in the NFL. He got bored. He had done everything he was going to do. This is before the Super Bowl. Right before the Super Bowl, he decides that he's going to go make movies. And he became sort of an action hero. But he got bored. He was age 29 when he retired from the NFL. But I think it's Barry Sanders and Jim Brown are the only running backs who've averaged over 5 yards per carry. I believe so. But, Jim was an amazing talent. I was very fortunate growing up in Ohio. We got the Browns games every Sunday. And I got to see him. Leroy Kelly came after Jim Brown. He was a Hall of Fame running back as well. But what Jim did, how he did it, and it almost seemed like he was as big as the defenders who were trying to tackle him. And left quite a legacy there. Yeah, Paulie.
When I was a little kid, I missed Jim Brown's era. Jim Brown and Wilt Chamberlain felt like fictitious characters. Yeah. Like they were people my dad talked about, or you mentioned someone like, well, I mean, Jim Brown's the best football player. Almost like a correction for all you younger generation people. Same with Wilt Chamberlain. It felt like if you didn't see him play, it's hard to understand it.
Yeah, Marv.
How big was he in person? Because I saw him like with his arms out, and he looked like a monster, and he was like 75.
Yeah, he was always had that great build to him. I mean, he great athlete, obviously football, but also considered a better lacrosse player at Syracuse. He was just solid. But he threaten to come out of retirement at one point. I don't know how old was he? Was it the 80s that he was thinking of coming out of retirement?
He was like 57. Franco Harris and Walter Payton were going for his rushing record, and he goes, maybe I'll come back. I put him on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
But Jim Brown, by all running backs, they're measured by how they stack up with Jim Brown.